Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, as always, Geek Viz Hoove. Welcome back to the channel. And we have here our final edition of our news drop stories. As at the end of the week, we are going to be covering all of our video game news from the end of February of 2026. If you haven't already, feel free to check out the other videos as well. At the top of the week, we dropped our movie news, and then at the middle of the week, we dropped our TV news, as we did with this week of news drops. Yeah, so this we're going to be covering everything from our big three of video games, and boy, oh boy, does we have quite a bit to talk about. I did have thoughts on probably going to do the biggest news in its own video, but I decided against it. I was like, oh, why not? It's going to be the biggest news. Everything, most damn near everything we're going to be talking about is going to be this, or any fall off, or follow up, or anything of that. And that is exactly kind of what we kind of cover here at the start of the episode. So if you don't know, let's go over the news we're going to be talking about here today. And of course, if you don't know, the first thing we're going to be talking about is the massive shakeup that just happened for Xbox. Spencer and Bond are out, and we got new CEOs and new leadership to steer the ship in a brand new direction. We're also going to talk about some little small follow-ups, talking about the brand new CEO of Xbox. That was the other one that had a shakeup. We also got a little shakeup at Assassin's Creed as well. Some sad update news on the future of Saints Row. We got what Bluepoint Games pitched before they got shuttered by Sony. Skate seems to be not in the best position right now. We talk about Sony's future and their future relationship with PC gaming. And we're going to close things off with Pokemon had an anniversary event. So we're going to talk about everything that happened on over there. Actually, give me a moment. Let me check through it because I realized I didn't do this yet. Let me check and see if there's anything new from that I should probably add on to the thing for right now. So give me a moment. I'm going to check that out. All right, we're back. Not too much. I added on like 2 new stories. But anyway, that's all we're going to be talking about here. So now that we take a little break, we got on some new stuff. Let's just go ahead and dive right into our news drop then, shall we? I'll actually remember to hit my transition this time. And of course, we got to start with the biggest bomb as we closed out February. And that is the fact that Phil Spencer is retiring. Sarah Bond is out as the heads of Xbox. And we got Matt. By the way, I'm going to be so immature. I'm going to chuckle or laugh every time I say this man's name. We got Matt Booty promoted Xbox AI as promoted, and Microsoft is bringing in Microsoft AI executive Asha Sharma as the new Xbox boss. So yeah, this all went down on February 20th. So Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, who has been at Microsoft since he joined as an intern in 1988 with Xbox, the software with Xbox since the software giant lost its first console in 2001, is retiring. Sources familiar with the matter who are not authorized to speak publicly confirmed to IGN. Spencer's retirement is effective on Monday, February 23rd. Meanwhile, Xbox president Sarah Bond, long thought by many both inside and out to be Spencer's heir apparent, has resigned. The new CEO of Microsoft Gaming will be Asha Sharma, currently the president of Microsoft Core AI product. And finally, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty is being promoted as Chief Content Officer and will work closely with Sharma. Matt Big Booty, aka Big Booty. I want to thank Phil for his extraordinary leadership and partnership. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said in an email sent to Microsoft staff. Over 38 years in Microsoft, including 12 leading gaming, Phil helped transform what we do and how we do it. Full emails from Nadella, Spencer, Sharma, and Booty are below. Spencer, in his email, said in part, quote, "Last fall I shared with Satya that I was thinking about stepping back and starting the next chapter of my life. For that moment, we aligned on approaching this transition with intention, ensuring stability and strengthening the foundation we've built. Xbox has always been more than a business. It's a vibrant community of players, creators, and teams who care deeply about what we build and how we build it, and it deserves a thoughtful, deliberate plan for the road ahead. Today marks an exciting new chapter for Microsoft Gaming as Asha Sharma steps into the role of CEO, and I want to be the first to welcome her to the incredible team. Working with her over the past several months has given me tremendous confidence. She brings genuine curiosity, clarity, and a deep commitment to understanding players, creators, and decisions that shape our future. We know this is an important role for our fans, partners, and team, and we're committed to getting it right. I remain in an advisory role through the summer to support a smooth handoff. So he's been thinking about retiring for a while. There was some news that he was probably on the verge of stepping down. As I mentioned earlier, it was always kind of viewed that Sarah Bond would kind of be the one to step up and take his place once he was done. But I remember this has kind of been in the rumor mill for a minute that Phil was about to step away. But yeah, he is staying on. Like I say, he's going to stay through the summer. He's going to help with the transition as it goes from him to Asha here. Speaking of Asha, Sharma is a former VP in product and engineering at Meta and former Instacart COO who is also a board member of Home Depot. Why do I say of the Home Depot? She joined Microsoft in 2024, which is not long to be a part of a company and then immediately be implemented as the CEO. In her email to Microsoft staff, she wrote in part, quote, "My first job is simple. Understand what makes this work and protect it. That starts with 3 commitments. First, great games. Everything begins here. We have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Unforgettable characters. Stories that make us feel, innovate gameplay, and creative excellence. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises, and back bold new ideas. We will take risks. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value, grounded in what players care about most." I promoted Matt Booty in honor of this commitment. He understands the craft and the challenges of building great games, has led teams that deliver award-winning work, and has earned the trust of game developers across the industry. Second, damn, I thought I was on that one. Okay. Second, the return of Xbox. We will commit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who built the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to players and fans who invest in Xbox and the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. Alright, and this talks about the cloud and all that shit. Third, future of play. We are witnessing the reinvention of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to look and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not see short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. So again, real nice words here, but like when I read it, me, and I'm pretty sure everybody else did, as soon as we seen that she was a VP in engineering at Meta, and she did a lot of AI work, I think we were all immediately worried about what that future could mean. Microsoft is already in a weird space. I mean, first of all, it's not even Microsoft. It's damn near every company trying to implement AI into every fucking thing in this day and age. Despite the fact that it's not making any money, us, the consumers, clearly do not want it, but they keep forcing the shit. So that's been like the biggest worry of right now, is what this means for Xbox and its relationship with AI, and the fact that she is an AI CEO does have people worried. I mean, she's saying the right things, but I mean, we all know this is typically, all this shit is very, regurgitated, and it goes through a PR team, and they do all that good stuff. So we'll have to see. Let's talk about what that big old booty had to say. About all this. Where is it at? Booty said in his email to Microsoft staff, "Looking forward, I'm excited to partner with Asha as our next CEO. Our first conversation centered on her commitment to making great games and the role that plays in our overall success. She asks questions, pushes for clarity, and wants our choices grounded in player and developer needs. That mindset matters as the industry around us is changing quickly, how players engage, how games are made, and the business models and platforms evolve." We have good reasons to believe in what's ahead. This organization and its franchises have navigated change for decades, and our strength comes from teams who know how to adapt and keep delivering. That confidence is grounded in the strong pipeline of established franchises, new bets we believe in, and clear player demand for what we are building. So let's talk about, again, Matt Booty says, Matt Booty has been around for quite a bit. He was always kind of like the third string of the Spencer Bond sort of tandem, but he's always been there, but now he's being moved up to COO. So, she's got somebody at her side who kind of knows the business a little bit more. Because again, the fact she's only been working there for 2 years, so that's a hell of a glow up. But at the same time, I feel like CEOs are kind of like, if you're gonna get a new CEO, you're gonna get somebody who's been a CEO before for the most part. So there you go. Let's talk about Sarah Bond. She joined in 2017, where she was an executive at T-Mobile. This after both her parents worked in the telecom industry as Xbox's corporate VP of Biz Dev and Partnerships. She became a corporate VP of Game Creator Experience and Ecosystem after that, before being named president of Xbox in 2022. Phil Spencer was named head of Xbox in March 2014 when he was tasked with writing a ship that had made a number of product choices and policy decisions that rubbed core gamers the wrong way in the run to the launch of the Xbox One in fall 2013. Yeah, if y'all remember the launch of the Xbox One, really that's like the what do they call it in Spider-Verse? That's like the canon event. The launch of the Xbox One has been the canon event down this dark timeline for Xbox to put them in the position that they are in right now. The Xbox One, the Xbox launch was so terrible. They still, to this day, damn near 10 plus years later, 16 years later, they are still struggling to dig themselves out of a hole of the Xbox One's launch. And that was the reason Phil came in, because he was, like they say, he was supposed to write the ship after that. Long held by gamers as being one of their own, Spencer could frequently be found on Xbox Live, playing games regularly with fellow Xbox gamers and ranking up a healthy gamer score. His first major move when put in charge was decoupling the Kinect. Remember that? Y'all remember the Kinect? From the Xbox One package, thus immediately reducing the console's price by $100 to $400. Matching the day one price of the PS4. He spearheaded the much heralded backwards compatibility movement within Xbox. The Xbox Game Pass service was born under his watch, and accessibility made major advances during his tenure in both hardware and software. Xbox Play Anywhere, which sought to let gamers play their Xbox games on any device, be it a PC, console, or handheld, isn't new, but it's been a big recent focal point. So that's everything kind of Phil did when he was in control. Backwards compatibility, he removed the Kinect. Game Pass was born on him. That was his big thing, really, was Game Pass. Unfortunately though, it seems that him sort of being, it's the thing that sucks. It's the whole thing about business, which is why you see so many like if you want to be in business, or you want to get to the level that these people are at that high level and succeed, you gotta have you kind of gotta be an asshole a little bit. And I honestly think that might have been Phil Spencer's biggest reason why he was liked for the choice, being a gamer and being one of their own. Also, low-key might be also the reason why he's out now and why Xbox has kind of struggled. He's done great things for us as gamers, the consumers, but low-key, he may not have been doing much for Xbox as a business. And that's a double-edged sword that's very hard to navigate. Because like if you want to be successful, you kind of gotta you might have to do some non-consumer friendly things in order to, because remember, everything that matters is about, look at David fucking Zaslav when it came to WB. Fuck him, but like everything he did was extremely anti-consumer, but it was all designed to help the company, to help the bottom line of the company. And even though that didn't work out either. Alright, so we gotta read through this bit. He was also he headed up the $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard King in 2022. The 7.5 billion acquisition of ZeniMax, which gave them Bethesda. So now Microsoft has all these new all these studios, and it was supposed to be, all this was meant to feed into the Xbox Game Pass. You buy these massive studios, now you have a bunch of exclusives that you can have under the Xbox banner and release them only on the Xbox, so you can put games on the Game Pass to make the Game Pass more appealing, to bring in more subscribers. And that was like the whole thing. But unfortunately, it didn't really work out. Their next game, the Xbox Series X and S, two-pronged hardware strategy aimed to give core gamers the most powerful console on the market, and then give casual gamers a more affordable console with the Series S. But of course, the pandemic happened, the COVID in 2020, that fucked up a lot of shit. Even with the Xbox Series S and X, it still didn't really work out. They were still getting destroyed by the PS5. And fortunately still have not recovered. They got out. Remember the story that the Xbox One console got beat out by that fucking home console thing? That was basically a thing that allowed you to play fucking mobile games on a TV and shit. They got outsold by that in the holiday. Xbox has been regularly delivering a steady cadence of good quality games over the past few years, like Stalker, Black Ops 6, Flight Simulator, Indiana Jones, Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom Dark Ages, Ninja Gaiden, Keeper, Outer Worlds 2. And then this lineup, they got Forza Horizon, Fable, Gears of War E-Day, and then Halo Campaign Evolved. But yeah, unfortunately, Microsoft has not really been able to recapture things. They've been struggling for a while now. The Xbox Game Pass really isn't bringing in the subscribers that they thought it would. It's also apparently it's not really bringing in the revenue that they thought it would be bringing in as well. Console sales are massively down, and now you got all the shit with the economy and all these tariffs, which is why they have to raise the prices for a bunch of shit last year. So yeah. And unfortunately, I think that might have played a role in it as well. Because remember, at the end of the day, everything is a business, and you know, maybe it was a what do you call it? It was an amicable thing between Phil, maybe thinking about retiring. Because apparently, also this was all had to get released early because I think this news got leaked, so they had to announce things earlier than they wanted to. But I think it might have been more of it behind the scenes, just as me speculating. It was probably more of an amicable thing. Spencer was already thinking about retiring, and then Microsoft was probably ready for him to move on and kind of move him out, because again, Xbox has been struggling making revenue as of late. And we all know money is the most important thing when it comes to these suits and these stockholders and shit. And remember, Xbox is owned by Microsoft, so Microsoft wants to make sure they get the money. Especially, as I pointed out earlier, $69 billion to get this, $7.5 billion to get ZeniMax. You know, fucking $70 billion to get these studios, and it's still not making the money they probably thought it needed to be making. So these are the emails from everybody. I'm not gonna read these too much, but this is from Satya. If you want to pause this and read that one, go ahead. This was Spencer's outgoing email. That's what he had. This is the announcement of Asha Sharma as the new CEO. Things on. Here's good old Matt Booty. Is his reply. So yeah, I will say the strangest thing was the Sarah Bond thing. I should have saved some articles of that too, but it is kind of believed that she kind of didn't know this was happening, and then when it was announced that Spencer was being out, but they were bringing in Sharma to be the new CEO, she might have put in her papers after that and decided to go if she wasn't gonna get the role. But who knows? I don't know. It's a lot of conversations happening about what everything means. If Phil was kind of forced out, but they made it seem like it was more of him retiring. If, like I said, if Sarah Bond departed because she didn't get the CEO job that she thought she was gonna get, what Asha plans to do and integrate for AI and all for the future of Xbox. Of course, we got to wonder what this means for a lot of things for Xbox. What does this mean for the Game Pass? They already have to raise the price, which seemingly turned a lot of people off of the Game Pass. I kept it because the PC Game Pass price is still very reasonable. It's still under like $20. But I wouldn't be surprised if that changes as well and they put that as the same price as like Game Pass Ultimate or slightly less than that. And I ain't gonna lie, if that happens, then I'm probably be heading out from Game Pass myself. The implementation of AI across everything. What does this mean? There's also the conversation of like maybe Microsoft wanted to put more use of Copilot and AI into this next upcoming Xbox, and Spencer and Bond wasn't going for it, and that's kind of what led them to being out. And now Asha and Booty, good old Matt Booty, are probably pretty much going to be down for it. Because again, she's still new. She's just getting this position, so she's not as familiar with the entire infrastructure as Microsoft as Phil was. So she kind of has to go into yes man mode for whatever Microsoft kind of wants done and changes they need. But speaking of the brand new CEO, let's go ahead and talk about her just a smidget. Xbox's CEO profile is 1 month old and shows suspicious behavior. So you know, I'm not too overly negative on this channel. I always like to give the benefit of the doubt. I like to look at two sides of the story in certain situations. And sometimes we don't really want to hear that shit, but sometimes it is. It does. So again, if you compare it to Phil, like I said, Phil was a gamer. He was a gamer. He was one of us, as they put it. So his profile clearly was show that of a gamer. Asha, on the other hand, coming into a gaming space, maybe a little bit unfamiliar with gaming. I don't necessarily say she has to be a gamer, but again, us looking from the outside in, we kind of have to take things as they are. Why the fuck I got this ad at the bottom? Hold on. So let's go ahead and read about this. So internet sleuths have busied themselves digging into Asha Sharma's Xbox profile, which was revealed by the new CEO herself on social media. Sharma, who has assumed the role after Phil suddenly announced his retirement, seemingly created her Xbox account just 1 month ago, and has since then racked up more than 10,000 gamer score across a variety of games. I ain't gonna lie, I don't keep track of the gamer score thing. I don't know like if that's like an impossible fucking thing or what. The problem is, the pseudo-detective analyzing Sharma's profile have uncovered some strange behavior, such as hitting 100% in Firewatch and Ball Pit, the latter of which she played 43 hours in a single week. She's also unlocked a rare achievement in Minecraft that has bounced between random games at what must be an extremely busy time for her. So basically saying she made this profile a month ago, and she might have just fucking blazed through a couple games apparently, if it's real. The leading assumption is that her Xbox account is being artificially boosted to secure more validity amongst the gamers skeptical of her new role as the CEO of Xbox. They have theorized that the account is being buffed by scores of achievements that can be unlocked easily. And in Minecraft especially, certain tricks such as achievement servers are being used to tick more boxes. This is conjecture, but some things don't entirely add up. For instance, in the month leading up to her announcement as CEO, Sharma pulled in more than 10,000 gamer score across games like Halo, Forza, Fallout, and most recently, Borderlands. It was also noted that many of the games Sharma is playing are the bulk of Xbox's biggest brands, which could be another attempt to legitimize her assessment. Her assignment, I mean. So yeah, this is our gamer score here. Asha Sharma was seen on Xbox 4 months ago. She has a 10,870 gamer score. Borderlands 2, Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, Ball X Pit, and Fallout 76. It appears from the first Xbox achievement unlocked by the profile that the account was started on January 15th, little more than 4 weeks before Sharma officially became the CEO of Xbox. We can see the account's friends list, which is very small, but includes the likes of Stein, senior social media manager at Xbox, and of course Phil P3 Spencer. With the mention of Phil Spencer, worth pointing out that after Sharma revealed her gamer tag, she almost admitted that she just started touching games. One user accused her of doing just that, and she simply replied with I am no Xbox P3, or to Phil. When asked if the account was represented by some AI construct, Sharma wrote, beep boop, beep boop. Their favorite games are Halo, Valheim, and GoldenEye. In a comment, a user explained how Borderlands 2 is a solid recommendation, and Sharma assured them she'd like to try the game today. Lo and behold, an hour after the comment was made, the Xbox account has started playing Borderlands 2. She's playing as old boy. Should have played as Salvador Zero. That's what you gotta play. It could be a nothing burger. Or they got the sour is cool too. But at the end of the day, it's no big secret that something of a witch hunt started immediately after the news was dropped. Yeah, of course. Many accused Satya Nadella, the CEO, of being a puppet master, while others cried nepotism, with Sharma's background being rooted most recently in AI and showing no signs of gaming experience. The new CEO was always going to be an easy target for die-hard gamers. Of course, it could be Sharma making a dedicated, determined effort to bone up the product she's going to be spearheading now that she's CEO of Xbox. Again, I will say, at the very least, if it is all fake, again, at least she's fucking. I mean, if it is like, if it is indeed she just started doing this shit 4 months ago, right? What I'm guessing that's right when she was announced that she was going to be getting this spot. At least she went, all right, let me go ahead and figure out what all this gaming shit is. Let me figure out what all this Xbox shit is all about. And she at least dived into it. Again, I don't know how the fucking gamer score for achievements and shit works, so I can't really speak to that, if the gamer score is legitimate or not. But I will say, at least it's like, hey, you know, she could. But I will say, she is gonna have a hell of an uphill battle to go through. I mean, not only is fucking Xbox in a bad state, in just business wise, but also this is all very sudden. Everybody liked Phil. All the gamers really liked Phil Spencer as the CEO. Again, I mentioned that he made a lot of moves that were very pro-consumer. Again, may not have been the best business-wise, but it was all very good pro-consumer business moves he made. So you know, everybody likes Phil. So she's got an uphill battle. She's gonna have to really kind of. And especially now with the use of like AI and like they said, fucking being able to get boosted for shit, she's gonna have to, you know, do something to she's gonna have to like do fucking a Twitch stream or something to show her actually playing the games. And it has to be her actually playing. You know, Elon got his ass fucking Elon got his ass figured out when he figured out he was faking the funk. So, you know, she got to be real about this. But of course, then also, like I mentioned, the biggest thing, of course, being the fact that her coming from an AI background, there is the worry of her possibly implementing a lot of AI into what the future of Xbox could be. Let's see. And in the new Xbox head's first memo, she promised to avoid AI slop, but makes it clear AI will be a part of the brand's future. Yeah, so we know that. The new Xbox will promise more great games are coming. As for future consoles, something Xbox has previously confirmed the tease. We already know the next console was already announced. They already spoke about it, the PC hybrid thing. So we know a new Xbox console is coming. Sharma says the company will celebrate its fans and history with a renewing of. Okay, we already know that. They just repeating the shit from the thing. Sharma's memo was a tightrope. She's trying to convince the hardcore Xbox gamers out there that she could be trusted to avoid AI slop, despite her history of working with AI, and that she's committed to bringing the brand back to its 360 glory days, while also signaling to executives and investors that AI will be a part of Xbox's growing future across non-Xbox devices. Tricky rope to walk, and while I think her memo is solid, the key will be what actually happens over the next few months and years. Yeah, exactly. Like she also mentioned the fact that they were going to be implementing new business models, going into different routes and different markets. So of course, what all that means, that could mean more AI shit, but we'll have to see what that exactly means. So yeah, so that's been the biggest news. Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond are out. Also, there was this article that came out like right after this all happened, and it kind of felt like a Sarah Bond hit piece, because it was talking about how like Sarah Bond, because it was talking about like how her she started the everything is an Xbox movement thing, and a lot of people were talking about how some people behind closed doors didn't like that slogan. They thought it was dumb. They're talking about how she was kind of like hard to work with backstage and shit like that. It was just some really weird shit. I think this is it right here. Yeah, staff praise her work ethic, but also claims she fostered an environment where if you didn't follow the vision or questioned it, you were out. Basically being, I don't know, a fucking as listen, I always say I'm a late bloomer to shit, right? I've been working at the job I've been working at for like damn near 10 years now. I'm very observant. So like I always just like watch and see how motherfuckers react. And one of the things I do notice is that we get a lot of our, I call them our big wigs, the people in higher up positions, and they travel between all the different stores and they do shit. And I very much noticed that that's basically how these motherfuckers work. Like really, like it's just what they do. They just do their job and they implement all this shit. And yeah, they work like fucking higher ups. They work like fucking COOs and like big bosses. Of course, when they have like a vision and they wanna do, and if it doesn't, if you kind of, fucking. There's two ways to think of it. There's two ways I think of this. One, it's like if what they say is true, it's like, yeah, that's just kind of how they are. I literally just said if you want to be in the position these people are in, you kind of got to be a fucking asshole to do shit. Fucking you hear fucking Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, or fucking watch the fucking Social Network, and you'll see exactly how these people work and they operate. Yeah, you kind of got to be a fucking asshole to do shit. It's just the way it is. But then there's also the fact that, a lot of times when this happens, we see this all the time. But somebody leaves and then people just start like talking about shit. Motherfuckers just come out the woodwork with stories and shit. And yeah, basically it just kind of felt like this very fucking weird, like hit piece that apparently people didn't really like working with her. And then of course you got to think about being a black woman in the tech industry. That's also a very important thing. Yeah, okay, here it is. This is an Xbox campaign in which Microsoft made it a point to suggest that anything and everything could play Xbox games. The Verge claimed that bomb strategies have been failing internally and being questioned multiple times. She also wasn't much of a gamer in the way Spencer was, with the fact that her public persona is supposedly being manufactured solely for appearances. So again, it's one of those things where like once somebody leaves, all of a sudden all these bunch of stories came out like this is why they were let go. We didn't fucking like her anyway. What's the other thing I was thinking about? Oh, and the other part I was talking about is again something I'm noticing, which is basically just if in this job you prove to just be somebody who just fucking like stands up for yourself and speaks your mind and understands your worth, you typically get labeled as a troublemaker. That's literally happened to me just now. They made a move. Apparently with them fucking knowing more than the people who actually do the work on the ground floor every now and then. They made a move, shit changed, and of course it was going to affect my position, the position I had. And I knew the writing was on the walls, I already knew it was coming. So when they approached me about it, they wanted to move me somewhere else. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And they're like, well, you do this, well, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know. Fucking y'all the fucking managers, fucking manage that shit and figure fucking manage this shit and figure it out. I didn't say that for real, but it's basically what I said. And yeah, basically after that, they put me in a different position. I had to, my title changed. I was doing less than what I was doing before, and unfortunately, it also meant I had to take, a pay cut, which is something I also saw coming. And yeah, basically from that point on, just like everybody in the, everybody. They don't even fucking talk. They barely fucking talk to me now. So like again, it's like if once you like, you talk about it, speak your word, and motherfuckers label you as a little bit of a troublemaker. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's just how Sarah Bond was. She. And if you want to say, hey, this kind of started this whole thing. If you didn't follow the vision, the question you were out. Sure, but it could also just be in the fact that she knew her worth. What's the thing? The top quote, especially when it comes to African Americans, you gotta work twice as hard to get half the fucking recognition. That's also a thing as well. So like, it's just weird shit. It's just fucking weird hearsay to come out right after she left. But hey, that's how shit works in the corporate world. But yeah, so that is the biggest changes for Xbox. Especially we got a new CEO in, Matt Big Booty is moving up in the Xbox. He's a new COO, and Phil Spencer is out, and Sarah Bond is out as well. What this means for the future of Xbox, we don't know. It's not going to be something we, of course, see instantly. It's going to take a while until we get there again, until we start to see, like, the actual changes this could actually have an effect on us as the gamers. But we'll have to wait and see, and only hope for the best. And at the core of everything is just the fact that I hope Xbox is actually able to right the ship, because again, I don't want to have a world where Xbox sort of vanishes from the console market as a major player in the gaming space, and it just leaves fucking, I can't even say Nintendo and Sony. It will literally just leave Sony, because Nintendo already exists in their own fucking space. So yeah, I don't want that to happen. But that is all of our big Xbox news. All right, next up, Xbox was the only one that had a bit of a change in leadership. We also had one at Ubisoft as the Assassin's Creed franchise announces new leadership. A new leadership team has been announced for the franchise, including a head of brand, a head of content, and a head of production excellence. Since the announcement of Ubisoft's restructuring and the future of the Assassin's Creed franchise, fans have been waiting for more clarity on the way forward. We recently discovered that 2 Far Cry games and several Assassin's Creed titles are currently in development. Whatever. Announced through a new post on Twitter, 3 seasoned leaders have been revealed to carry forward the Assassin's Creed franchise. They will be responsible for driving the brand's long-term vision, creating creative ambition, and continued growth. Matt Schilling will take on the role of head of Assassin's Creed brand and will focus on overall strategy and long-term vision of brand. Schilling has a profound understanding of Assassin's Creed, thanks to being part of leadership in games like Revelations, Black Flag, Origins, and Valhalla. Most recently, he served as the Ubisoft Chief Production Officer. That name sounds familiar. Is that the guy we read about who like seemed like he was like let go? Did he come back? I can't remember. Then we have Jen Guisden, who will serve as the head of content for AC. And will be responsible for leading overall creative direction, supporting individual games, and guiding the future. They were been the creative director for Origins and Black Flag. And last but not least, we have Francois Debilly, who has been named as the head of production excellence. He was responsible for strengthening product practices and execution across the brand. He was previously the production designer on Valhalla and Origins. The trio will be joining the rest of Assassin's Creed leadership team in the coming weeks, including Andre Anna Bovis, producer for Assassin's Creed cross-brand initiatives and head of technological excellence, and Lionel Hiller, the VP brand and go-to-market strategy. So there you go. We got some new bigwigs over at Assassin's Creed. Hopefully, I don't know. I have not been interested in Assassin's Creed in so fucking long that I really don't care. I don't even know if they can bring me back, especially when I heard that Shadows was again just basically the same fucking Assassin's Creed. Like nothing really new or big changes really came from it. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm over Assassin's Creed. I've been over Assassin's Creed for fucking decades, so I don't really care. What I do kind of care about, though, is this news, as the original Saints Row designer believes the series is dead after publisher ghosts him. Chris Stockman says Embracer is giving him the cold shoulder after requesting his pitch. We read this a while ago. This guy was going to go to Embracer with a brand new pitch about what he wants to do with the franchise. He wanted to take it back to the OG stuff of Saints Row 1 and 2. Had a whole pitch deck, but apparently Embracer Group ain't been hearing him out. The original Saints Row was an unexpected hit, rising above the tide of urban sandboxes in 2006. The game pushed its tomfoolery further than even Grand Theft Auto dared. The most recent entry, however, was a misfire. 2022's reboot was busted from a technical standpoint and totally out of sync for fans. Last year, rumors arose that the series might get another shot, but Chris Stockman, design director for the original game, now says the long-running Row has a fork in it. I think the franchise is dead, unfortunately, Stockman told a fan on Discord. I get the sense that Embracer has zero ability to do anything with it. Though Stockman hasn't been with Saints Row developer Volition for years, he claimed last November that Embracer Group approached him to help with the course correction for the franchise. The pitch, as he described it, was a Saints Row prequel set in the 1970s. This new setting could have done a more balanced job of giving Saints Row a definitely needed fresh coat, while affording itself some ample opportunities for its signature buffoonery. And then we got this tweet. Hey, remember when we got excited about the prospect of a Saints Row prequel? Well, according to Saints Row, Embracer just completely ignored the idea. Saints Row is once again dead. This first question: what a funny coincidence then. This is why I love Saints Row. It just sucks that the last canon game was released a decade ago. Yeah, and Chris responded, and honestly, I think the franchise is dead, unfortunately. I guess this Embracer has zero ability to do anything with it. I wish things were different. I try my best to offer a path forward, but they've ghosted me. They was doing this for us. This is when he was first announced to. Which is crazy, the fact that they approached him about creating a pitch for this, and then when he actually makes it, they fucking ignore his calls and shit. Promising as it was, it didn't get very far. Only a few months later, Star believes he's now being ghosted by Embracer, and it's probably the end of the road for Saints Row's 20-year joyride. Again, maybe I'm being a little too skeptical. I don't know. Maybe Embracer's just fucking shit at responding to people, at communications. That could also be a thing. While this become the norm, Embracer Group were one of the earliest conglomerates who got into the practice of hoovering up games studios and squeezing them dry. They toured around with portfolios like Gearbox, Crystal Dynamics, THQ, and dozens more. All the mixed results. Their acquisitions of Volition occurred in 2018, part of a package in the purchase of Coach Media. The 2022 reboot would be the only game Volition made under Embracer, developed under routine restructuring and staff transfers between other studios. When this banged up Saints Row failed to meet sales expectations, Volition was shuttered by Embracer in 2023. This end is merely another page in the book of Embracer squashing out potential sequels, having recently been revivals of Perfect Dark and Deus Ex before that. Having picked up Crystal Dynamics in 2022, their first outing with the Tomb Raider series was already facing turbulence as Embracer announced their signature restructuring. I didn't know that. Okay, so they had layoffs. This was in November of last year. So this is even before the Game Awards came out and that announcement of the new Tomb Raider games was even made. This is a little older. Because we do know this game is coming, so will it come on time? We don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that sucks for us for that, because, you know, I fucking love Saints Row. Speaking of more stuff to be disappointed about, Bluepoint pitched a Bloodborne remake before being shut down. We know Bluepoint was recently shut down by Sony. They were the studio who made the remasters of Dark Souls and Shadow of the Colossus. The new report claims from Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, who, you know, does good work, so take it with a grain of salt, but just know Jason Schreier has a really good fucking track record. It was noted that following the cancellation of the live-action God of War game live service, God of War game, in January 2025, Sony was working closely with the studio to determine their next project. Also in early 2025, there was a pitch to remake Bloodborne. However, while they were told the numbers made sense, people familiar with the situation stated that FromSoft didn't want it to happen. Also, it came from FromSoft. It didn't come from Sony. It came from FromSoft. Bluepoint Studio pitched other ideas. The report also notes that Bluepoint pitched other PlayStation studios developing new projects. One idea was a Ghost of Tsushima spinoff, but it was not approved. Other studios said they said to be wary of allocating substantial resources to another team's project, according to sources familiar with the situation. It was also noted that when God of War Remake Trilogy was announced without Blueprint's involvement, some within the studio grew uneasy, and 1 week later, they were shut down. Damn. So they kind of knew that the writing might have been on the wall. They were trying to do something. Yeah, I just talked about how with my job that changed. I saw the writing on the wall. So when that God of War game got canceled, they also saw the writing on the wall and were trying their damnedest to do something to make sure that they would stick around. They pitched the Bloodborne, they pushed the Ghost of Tsushima thing, but of course it just didn't happen. None of it happened, and unfortunately, the studio got shut down. Yeah, that sucks. So, you know, more news about people being shut down, laid off. Speaking about being laid off, Skate Studio says it's laying devs off in order to better support the game. Full Circle says it's still committed to updating the online skating game. Now, y'all know on this channel, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I try my damnedest to be a little bit more positive on news. Again, I feel like it's too much negativity on the internet. I feel like motherfuckers is grifted too much just for some clout and some likes. So I don't want to do that. But there comes a time when you still gotta pop out and show niggas. So when I feel like something deserves to be shitted on, to be negative, I will do it. And I ain't gonna lie, Skate is one of them. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. I was so excited for this skate game, and then the moment they came out and announced this bitch was gonna be live service, I was immediately turned off. And so I downloaded it. I still downloaded it. I still gave it the benefit of the doubt. The skating is indeed still very fun. The skating is very fun. But once you kind of do everything, the fucking live service grind shows its ugly ass fucking head. And that's what I knew. Oh, okay, I do not want to stick around for any of this bullshit. It takes you to the fucking store like 9 goddamn times in the intro of the game. And even worse, the fucking loot they give you, it's live service, so they give you fucking loot and shit. And the shit isn't even good. It reminds me of like The Division. Well, like, I see these rewards I can get, and I'm just like, none of this looks good. Why would I want to continue to play to get this bullshit ass gear that means nothing? I don't want to do that. So yeah, I was like, so that's why, and I hate to say it because I love Skate. Skate 3 was the shit. I fucking loved it. I still have that bitch on the 360. I think I got it on my Xbox S as well. I fucking love Skate 3. But going to fucking live service, not only did they go live service, I need to remind you guys, the fucking game is early access. Hold on. Where does that bitch at? So I can pull this up. Hold on. Let's see if I can. No, I can't. Damn. But whatever, you get it. The fucking shit is shit was early. The shit is in early access. It's still in early access. This game really. When did this shit come out? This shit released in September of 2025. They're currently on season 2. I think they're about to release like season 3. It's still in early. How the fuck do you have a second season for your early access? Again, it is free, so that lightens the load lightens the blow a little bit, but still, it's a fucking early access live service game. I don't want that shit. And it's like, no, there's like no actual, of course, and because live service, there's no actual skaters, there's no actual characters in there. Like, one of the coolest things about Skate 3 was the fact that you went around, you met real fucking skaters who made cameos in the game. You had fucking My Name is Earl as you have fucking My Name is Earl as your fucking coach of that bitch. You fucking created a whole fucking crew of characters. So you be able to create your own little crew of characters in there. All that shit was dope. You can't do any of that in this. To my knowledge, at least. Because I ain't played that long, to be honest with you. But yeah, just the fact that it was a fucking live service game fucking sucked. Full Circle, the studio behind the online-only Skate reboot that launched last year, has announced that an unspecified amount of developers have been laid off. On February 25th, EA-owned developer Full Circle posted on its official website that it is reshaping the studio to better support Skate for its long-term future. What does that actually mean? Well, it translates to some members of the studio are being laid off, of course. Quote, these shifts mean making changes to our team structure and some roles will be impacted, posted Full Circle. The teammates affected are talented colleagues and friends who helped build the foundation of Skate. Their creativity and dedication are deeply ingrained in what players experience today. This decision is not reflective on their impact, and we're committed to supporting them through the transition. Kotaku contacted EA for more information on layoffs. They did say Skate will continue, adding our commitment to Skate and to the millions of players who believe in it remains strong. The post wraps up with a message to the devs who are losing their jobs. To our departing teammates, thank you. Skate exists because of your hard work and dedication to the craft. This is just the latest in a string of layoffs and game cancellations at EA. Full Circle doesn't connect these layoffs to the massive $55 billing. I fucking forgot about that. I mentioned that too. When this fucking deal happened, when EA was bought by this Saudi company, and they bought that shit for $55 billion, they needed to start cutting corners and cutting the fat to make sure they could start to recoup the cost of the sale. And of course, one of those things is fucking layoffs. And what do we at here? Another damn layoff. Skate launched in September with a high player count on Steam, but the online-only MMO light skating game has struggled to keep players around, and news of a new paid map extension. I forgot to talk about that too. introduced a brand new map for, so it is the third season. They got again, third season. The fucking game is in early access. This is still not even the full fucking release of the goddamn game. The game is still not technically a completed game. It's early access, and they're going into season 3. By the way, on the fucking beta, they still have the store active, and you can actually spend real fucking money in the store. In the fucking beta. They had fucking microtransactions in the goddamn beta. What the fuck was that? And now again, early access, one of the first things they said was like, hey, we promise nothing is gonna be paywalled. No progression, no maps, no nothing. Everything you pay for is all cosmetics. And they're introducing this brand new fucking map in season 3. And guess what? It's behind a goddamn paywall. Lied. Like, okay, put that fucking Kendrick, the fucking Kendrick from on Beat the Grams. I don't know if anybody has just that fucking soundbite. I don't know if anybody. Okay, nobody. Damn, I wish somebody made that. I need a soundboard, bro. That's what I need. I need to invest in a ring light and a soundboard. That's what I really need. I need to get that. You lied. They fucking lie, dog. And I think and the whole thing was the fucking map. It's just the fucking tutorial map. This is the new map. It's just a fucking tutorial map. And you gotta pay for it. That's why I'm like, bro, fuck this game. Fuck EA, bro. Just fucking up everything. And now that they can't retain a player account, which means motherfuckers ain't spending money, now they got to lay off. And of course, they got to recoup the cost from a $55 billion buyout from the Saudi government. It's just. That's why I say fuck this game, bro. It's like that and the 2022's fucking Saints Row. Just like, fuck this game, dog. But hey, there you go. Anyway, let's talk about Sony for a little bit. Console is where they want to be. Reports indicate Sony is pulling away from PC for single-player PlayStation games. Various comments from credible sources, including Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, again, to take it with a grain of salt, but he has a very strong track record. And Digital Foundry's John Linman indicate PC has become less important for Sony, and that single-player PlayStation exclusives may remain just that. Speaking on the Triple Check podcast, Schreier indicated Sony will continue to release its live service games on PC as well as PlayStation because, again, they want to make money, so you might as well expand to that market as well. But the sense of I'm getting is that they're backing away from putting their exclusive console stuff like traditional single-player stuff on PC. So your Wolverines, your Spider-Mans, Ghosts of Tsushimas and Yotes, your 87 Last of Us, God of War, all that shit, Death Stranding, all that shit is probably staying on PlayStation. Because Steam is making their Steam machine, and again, if they release those single-player games on PC, that means people will be able to have those games on the Steam machine, which means they won't need to buy a fucking PlayStation anymore. So in order to, again, this is one of those moves, again, that I talked about with Phil Spencer, of consumer versus business. Consumer-wise, it's a bad thing for us as consumers because it means now it limits the platforms we can get these games on. Business-wise, it's smart because now you're still forcing players, if they want to have these experiences with these games, they have to stick with a PlayStation. Allegedly. So you got to stick with PlayStation if you want to keep playing God of War, Ghosts of Tsushima, Death Stranding. Of course, they don't have a problem with their live service games because, again, they want to reach the PlayStation and the PC market because the whole thing about that is that it makes money after the launch of the game. Schreier pointed out Insomniac's Wolverine is due out on the PlayStation 5 exclusively this September, which may suggest we may never get it on PC. Schreier then suggested Sony hasn't seen significant commercial success putting its single-player games on PC. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a blow, he added. First-party single-player PlayStation games have made the jump to PC, including Marvel Spider-Man, God of War, The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, and Days Gone. In a post on Reset Era, Schreier said his comments were not speculation, but sometimes topics come up on the show before I'm quite ready to publish a story on them. More to come soon, I'm sure. Digital Foundry's John Lemon also said something similar on Digital Foundry Direct. Quote, I usually like inkling. I actually have an inkling that they're pulling away from PC. Watch this space. I get the feeling that under the current leadership, PC has become less important. One might argue that the Jim Ryan era, the one positive thing to come out of it is the shift to PC. But I'm not confident that they have one huge vision for PC going forward. Not to say we won't still see some PC games happening, but I think it's not going to become more PC focused. I think it's, if anything, it's going to become less. This is the reason I don't think they would ever consider a PC launcher. Like going bigger on PC at the expense of consoles. I think consoles where they want to be. So yeah, they want to keep it. They want to stay on console. Again, smart move for them, especially if Xbox. If Xbox ever does pull out of the console race, they'll have the fucking monopoly on it, and they want to make as much money as they can make. So keep the games on PlayStation to keep people having to buy PlayStation consoles. So there you go. But again, I feel like this is all just done because Steam has the Steam machine coming out, so they smell some competition, so they're making moves to underhand them a little bit. All right, next up, we're gonna go through this one pretty quickly. Everything announced at the February Pokemon Presents. Another year, another Pokemon Presents. Today, the Pokemon Company hosted a stream to spotlight numerous updates arriving for its many live services and titles surrounding the long-running Pokemon franchise. It's the series' 30th anniversary, marking 3 decades since the first generation of games took us to Kanto. Damn, Pokemon is about as old as I am. Shit. And the makers of Pokemon are leaning heavily into our shape nostalgia for it. Here's everything we saw at today's February 26th Pokemon Presentation Presents. And it's crazy to think that, if you were older, you've lived in the world where Pokemon has always existed. I was just thinking, damn, The Simpsons has been around for so fucking long. There are, multiple generations that have not been in a world where The Simpsons was not there. This thing about I've been in a world where Pokemon has always been there. There's never not been any moment in my 3 decades of life where Pokemon has not been there. In terms of just existing, in terms of some kind of deep emotional connection or something. Game music collection. The Steam kicked off with the game music collection jukebox for Pokemon Red and Blue. 45 songs or 45 cartridges for the standalone music player. It basically looks like a hit clips for classic Pokemon music. Anyway, it's available starting February 27th today. Is this it right here? We got Pokemon World Championship XP 2026. That's in San Francisco on August 28th through the 30th. They confirmed all activities happening there. It's not just the competition and fighting for the crown. The Pokemon XP Expo will host several different events and places for families and friends to hang out and celebrate Pokemon. Plus, we got some artwork commemorating the event. I never knew they had a fucking event. I never knew they had one, but I'm not surprised that they do have one. The trading card game. We took a look at the future of the Pokemon trading card game, celebrating the classic 30th anniversary, released sometime this year. The stream showed off everything from classic cards to tag teams and more. Pokemon Go, as part of the game's 10th anniversary. Goddamn. Along the series 30th, can you believe it's been a decade since that blissful, wonderful Pokemon Go summer? I was in college when that shit dropped. Great time too, because I was in college and my college was downtown, so just fucking walking around downtown. The anniversary event runs in early March, and Pokemon Go Tour Kalos starts tomorrow on Saturday, February 28th. Make sure to grab the promotional Pokemon code Go Tour Kalos, valid until the 2nd. So I'm sorry, y'all. By the time the video comes out, that will be expired. Pokemon Masters XE Red and Pikachu are out today, and 2 more trainers joining soon. Flora and I don't know what the fuck that is. On February 28th, and Julian and okay, I can't even say these damn names. We're doing a lot of talking, a lot of reading. My mouth. Just Remix Cafe, Pokemon Sleep. I forgot that was late. Pokemon Unite, Articles, Zapdos, Moltres are coming to Pokemon Unite today. Special event featuring the birds kicking off as well. Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr are also on their way to Pokemon MOBA. Trading card game Pocket. The next set is coming to Pokemon. The trading card game is the Paldean Wonders, premiering now with numerous daily logins, bonuses. Okay. Nintendo Switch Online. The Nintendo XD Gale of Darkness is coming to the Switch Online GameCube section on March 26th. This is huge news for anyone who wanted to see what this odd side game is about, but doesn't want to play exuberant songs for a physical GameCube copy today. And this is the one where you start off with an Eevee or some shit, right? This is the one. If I remember correctly, this was like a prototype of like the Pokemon Legends. If I remember correctly, it was like a kind of an open world thing. You kind of walked around it and shit. If I remember the game correctly. I remember I've always wanted to play this, but I never could, because I never had it, because I didn't have it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out. Let's see. Pokemon Fire and Leaf. Okay, I've seen this already. The Game Boy Advance remakes of Gen 1 are coming to the Switch. They're out today and feature Pokemon Home integration as part of their modern Switch release. Anyway, I might catch a flag for this for Pokemon fans. Reddit. The Gen 1. I'm very particular and picky about any Pokemon I catch. I don't give a shit about. I do give a slight shit about type balance, but I don't give a fuck about. I'll catch Pokemon I just think look fucking cool. That's all I give a shit about. If I think you look lame, I ain't fucking with you. I don't give a damn how overpowered or how meta or whatever. I don't give a fuck how they work stat wise. If they look fucking cool, I want them. Fucking Garchomp. I love Garchomp. Garchomp is cool. I always want to catch a fucking Garchomp if Garchomp's in the game. But a lot of these other ones I don't give a fuck about. I only care about whoever looks fucking cool. And I can't lie, Generation 1 has a lot of uncool looking Pokemon, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize, but it kinda does. A lot of the Pokemon I do like all come around at the later seasons. Also, the starters are a big deal for me too. If the starters look whack, I ain't really gonna fuck with the game. And I'm sorry to say, I know they're iconic, but I don't think I like any of the Gen 1 starters either. So Pokemon Legends ZA gets more Mega. That's they added Garchomp. Pokepedia. Pokepedia is days away. Some news to show. Okay, blah 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 blah. And here is the news of the new game. Pokemon Winds and Waves. The 10th generation of Pokemon has been confirmed as Pokemon Winds and Waves in a yet unnamed but seemingly tropical region. I think people could kind of narrowed it down to the Philippines. We got a glimpse of many different biomes and Pokemon that will inhabit them, as well as the resort-like structure in towns built on the water. Plus our 3 new apparent starters: a little bird Browit, the fire puppy Pombon, and water amphibian Gekkoa. Also, possibly a tease for diving and underwater activities. They look alright. I like the water type. I do like the water type. Looks kind of cool. It's kind of basic. I can't lie. I already dislike the dog because I know everybody's gonna be fucking going crazy over the fucking dog because it's a dog. Just like they did the same thing for the fucking cat last time, just because it was a damn cat. That's alright. Of course, everything to me it really matters what the final evolution looks like. Like I can deal with some mid or whack base evolutions if the final evolution is dope. What like my favorite? Like I like Totem. Like what gen is the one that has like I said, I don't know. I think Gen 1 is all kind of mid. Gen 2, I like Tyquil, I like Totodile for Gen 2. I think Gen 3 was the first one where I liked all the starters. That's the one with like Torchic and Treecko and Mudkip, right? Yeah, Gen 3 was the first time I liked all the fucking starters. This is the first time where I dug all of the starters. All the starters were dope. So I like this era. I said they were the last one there. No, yeah, the cat. That's what I'm saying. Everybody liked the fucking cat because it was a cat. I like this guy though. This is long. Is this the real one? I don't think this is the real one. Is it? I can't remember. I fucking have Violet too. I don't even know what they look like. But yeah, Gen 3 starters. I liked all the Gen 3 starters. I don't remember who 4 is. Who's 4? 4. I like Chimchar. That was basically it. Piplup was kind of cool because Piplup's final was dope. So Piplup was fucking bearable because their final evolution was dope. So I like that one. I didn't like Turtwig. What was this? 4? It was 5. Didn't like any of them in 5. Didn't like any of them at all. They was all whack. 6. I only like the water one, which I think that's kind of everybody, right? Because fucking Greninja pretty much became the fucking one of the more like poster child Pokemon. 7? I don't remember 7. Didn't like any of them in 7. I thought all of them was trash. Didn't like any of them, so I didn't fuck with 7. It was 8. God damn, we are on 10. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, didn't like this one either. Didn't like this one either. Didn't like any of them. This is where they all based off like he was like a drummer, he was like a soccer player, just like a fucking secret agent. Don't know what the fuck that meant, but that's what it was. God damn, I'm trying to see the whole evolutionary line. Too much fan art of fucking element swapping. But yeah, I didn't like any of them here either. I'm like might catch so much fucking slack for this. I'm keeping it real. 9. Okay, they were 9. Okay, their last one was 9. I liked who's his name? Floyd Coco. I liked him. Goddamn, wish I could find an actual fucking picture of the actual goddamn evolutionary lines. Okay, here are the last ones. Yeah, I really don't like this one. That was the only cool one to be. But yeah, those. So that's my relationship with Star. That's my relationship with Pokemon. I only catch the cool looking Pokemon. That's it. I don't really fuck with a lot of them. But yeah, so that was everything announced at the Pokemon event. Now some fairly new ones here. We're gonna go through these pretty quick. The God of War universe. There seems to be reports that there might be a game that doesn't involve Kratos as the main character. Social circles worldwide to discuss the case of a new God of War game that does not feature Kratos as a protagonist, potentially surfacing later this year. This talk completely follows the discovery of a LinkedIn tidbit by eagle-eyed fans that mentioned a new franchise within the God of War universe. The mention comes from a former senior writer who spent time at Santa Monica Studios helping flesh out characters, storylines, and original lore that expanded the acclaimed IP. This was backed up by several industry insiders with more information to supplement the claims. Could Faye be the new lead? As the claims surfaced online regarding a new God of War game with a fresh lead, insiders suggest that Faye, Kratos' wife, who would front the unannounced game, has been claimed that it will be a step away from the massive mythical adventures present in the Norse God of War titles and focus on action elements in a more Devil May Cry way. Matches everything I was told. Didn't hear anything about the mythology involved or anything, just that it was Faye and more action focused. Probably closer to Devil May Cry than the new God of War games, sort of, at least how it was described to me. Nate the Hate corroborated the thing. Yes, the game is set within the God of War universe, and the lead character will be Faye. Gameplay is said to differ from the Norse God of War and more action style. First half of 27, barring any delay. Faye has yet to be properly explored in the God of War universe. That's very true. She had a brief appearance in the flashback sequence in God of War Ragnarok, but in the events of God of War 2018, the character that passed away, pushing Kratos into It's important that these claims be taken lightly, as until they're confirmed, they're subject to change. Just like any other rumors you hear, with the new mainstream God of War games coming, the trilogy remake being in development, Sons of Sparta having just released, and the live action adaptation being in the works, it's possible folks will start getting God of War fatigue soon. That's very true. But I also wouldn't be surprised if just because of all that, that's why they're making another spin-off game. My mind would have immediately went to an Atreus-led vehicle, because that's kind of what it seems like they were setting up. He ventured off on his own with old girl, so I figured that's where my mind would have went. But again, what they mentioned is true. Faye is a very unexplored section of the God of War duology so far. Like her connections with like the giants, giving Atreus the name Loki. Yeah, a lot of that shit has been so unexplored with her in the game so far. So I also won't be surprised. But again, take it with a grain of salt. We'll have to see. But it does seem like they really are going all in on a lot of God of War stuff. They just had their 20th anniversary thing, Sons of Sparta. We got the trilogy remake. There's the reports that they're working on a new game that's supposed to go to Egypt. Of course, we got the show, which we talked about in our TV section last time. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, and in the last news story, Starfield will reportedly fill the April-sized hole in the PS5's release calendar. So we got news that Starfield is going to be coming to the PS5 in April. It's finally making its way to Sony and consoles next month. This follows years of rumors that such a port was happening. On March 2nd, game journalist Bill Kuhn over at the French outlet Debelas confirmed previous rumors that Starfield coming to the PS5 soon. According to their sources, Bethesda's space RPG is set to launch on the PS5 on April 7th. There will be a physical version of Starfield available on the date as well, at least in Europe. Previous report claims Starfield would arrive on the PS5 in 2026. Interestingly, reports that Starfield on PS5 will be in Europe at least cheaper at launch to buy than when it arrived in 2023 on Xbox and PC. Outlet claims Starfield's standard edition will be about $50, 50 pounds, 50 euros, which is about $60. Meanwhile, the premium edition will reportedly cost about 70 euros at launch, and that's roughly $82. Currently, the standard edition Starfield in France is 80, with a premium edition at 110. There have been rumors of Starfield coming to PS5 before it even arrived. Those rumors continued as Xbox began porting more of its catalog to other platforms. Xbox and Bethesda, a company that has been owned by Microsoft since 2021, have even released Bethesda-developed RPGs like Oblivion Remastered on the PS5, so it seems like Starfield on the PS5 is going to happen one day. And it seems like that might be in April. So, any PS5 users who are interested in trying out Starfield, seems like April might be the day. All right, that is it for our news stories. As always, we gotta get into some trailers here. Also, legitimately, right after I fucking shot my goddamn TV reactions, the day and the day after I did my movie reviews, the fucking official trailer for Scary Movie 6 came out. I watched it. It's pretty funny. I was a little worried at the start, but as the trailer kind of kept going, I was like, okay, they might have something here. This is actually kind of funny. So there you go. But anyway, we got some trailers to watch, so let's go ahead and check them out. We're starting with Based. So Based, bruh, a Based. But there's an event that happened apparently. So a lot of that might be from that. But here we go with a Based. This is David versus Goliath. Let me see. Oh, yeah, this is definitely. There's definitely some it looks okay in some places. It still looks kind of rough in others. Like that running animation is kind of like that running animation. Like some of these animations. Let's see. Check out the announcement for Abased, a Bible-inspired fantasy RPG where you play as a Lehos, a leper and felon faith enforcer marked by affliction. Armed with slings and blades, you must face resurgent giants who want rule the ancient land. In exchange, you are promised atonement and cleansing your flesh before your flesh succumbs to abasement. The Abased will be available on PC soon. Alright. I mean, wasn't really my cup of tea there. Butcher's
Imagine
Village.
being able to build any.
What is it about the gaming that has the damn ads? I didn't have ads on nothing else. Fucking IGN.
Man, visibility is crazy. I can barely see a thing.
Okay, so it'd be a first-person horror thing.
What's he digging? I don't know. Guess I got no choice. I'll follow him for now. Maybe I can call someone or something.
Do you want to play a game, Murtaza?
No! Oh!
Like watching this bitch in 720. Fucking wannabe Outlast.
Help me!
What the fuck is these transitions, bruh? I know y'all know y'all saw that. The audio literally shifted. It's like,
I don't know. Guess I got
like
no
this
choice.
looks okay.
I'll follow him for now. Maybe I can.
And then you
or
get
something.
Do you want to play a game,
and then you get to this. It's like, what the fuck happened? Holy downgrade, Batman. What the fuck? No! And then you got, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Watch this shit in nice Dolby Atmos, 1440p here.
Help me!
And then it literally switches. And then the shit literally switches in real time. His second line. Shit switches to a goddamn fucking 720 potato right now. What the fuck? Help me! Help me!
I'll come back, but differently.
The Butcher's Village, that shit sucked. I'm sorry. Good, that's your ass. Take a look at the launch trailer for The Butcher's Village, a psychological slasher developed by Murtaza Error. Players will engage in the struggle to survive a sinister village as evil permeates the land. Solve puzzles, endure the horrors. Available now. Man, what the fuck? Yeah, fucking Resident Evil Village, Outlast, niggas, every goddamn first-person horror game you can imagine. Then they just like, let's do all that. All right, next up, Mistfall. Teaser trailer. Okay, high fantasy. Real-time action combat. Mistfall Hunter. It's a dark fantasy an extraction RPG. What, these motherfuckers is making up anything at this point. Nigga, I got so turned. I got so turned off right there, bro. Like, what the fuck? Damn. Fucking, we mad. She look good as a motherfucker. You know, grinding on you and shit. You know, get her back to the crib. You know, getting back to the crib. They take their pants off. And you just, what the fuck is that? Immediately turned off, bro. Just like, put your pants back on, bro. Dark fantasy extraction RPG, where you and up to 3 fellow guild hunters venture into Gildan Mist. Together, you face monstrous foes and rival teams, all while battling to return with valuable goods and powerful gear. I ain't interested in all strategy things, especially action, extraction fantasy game. Like, I played the fucking marathon server slam a little bit. I actually kind of enjoyed that shit. No lie. But again, I played it one time and then didn't touch it for the rest of the weekend. Again, very representative of kind of how I would actually play the game, only because it's a gameplay loop that I know I will eventually get tired of. Next up, Until Then DLC. It's a cozy game, guys. 2 compelling new chapters. Matchy. Oh shit, we're swiping. We're swiping for the baddies. No idea what the fuck this was. Award-winning narrative-driven Until Then brings 2 riveting chapters following our beloved characters. I forgot I had that shit on autoplay. Hold on. Let's read through that. Let's see. Sophia returns home to memories she left behind. Mark meets a new lover and an old friend. On their own, they explore what it means to carry on living in the presence of absence. Okay, whatever. Resident Evil Requiem.
Leon, we're running out of time.
Did you find anything on Elpis?
Not yet. Nothing on the servers of the CIA or the Pentagon. I'm coming with you.
We can't talk. What do you want to know?
I don't want any more regrets. Whatever it takes, count me in.
Raccoon City was where it all began for me.
Available now. Already getting a lot of positive scores. Like this seems like we got our first entry into the Game of the Year race already. Granted, it just come out. We're gonna have to see how people thinking once the game is actually finished it and how the ending hits. But as of right now, it seems like we already got our first entry in the Game of the Year running race already. I do still plan one day. I don't know when, but I do still plan on eventually getting through this franchise eventually. I don't know when, but it is still on my list to play through this franchise and face my fears and overcome my childhood trauma. All right, next up we got Borderlands 4. This is the DLC.
Welcome to Top Hero.
Shit. This is not Borderlands 4, by the way. Even though this looks like it'll probably run on the PC better. Yeah, probably
wretched malevolence lurks within the stone of the mountain. You may not believe in demons, but I believe in you.
Aw, that's so nice.
And so violence ensues.
Ooh, sleek.
A new armament, more powerful than the last.
Legend of the Stone Demon is a body pass. So it's just it's a map with different enemies and shit. Motherfucker still playing Borderlands 4? I feel like not. it was rough. It was also reports that it didn't sell well either, so you know, not surprised there. Up next, stage tour. I ain't gonna lie, I seen the image for this. I'm kind of excited. To be completely honest, to be completely transparent, it might just be nearly just all fucking nostalgia. But your boy fucking loves Guitar Hero and Rock Band. I still got Rock Band 4 for the PlayStation. So when I seen that this was a thing and it was apparently maybe a spiritual successor, I was excited. The thing, the IP.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Oh shit, they got fucking shit on this.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Red Octane back from the dead for the next evolution in rhythm gaming. Speculation of new games in the works. Red Octane. A new rhythm game built by community and veteran developers. Oh, they're working with the community? I can't lie. They're selling me. They're selling me already.
On your mark! Get set! Go!
Character models are ass. Oh, shit's coming out this year. I guess it shouldn't be that surprised. It's a rhythm game. You don't take that much. Stage tour. Like I said, the animations in the fucking shit is ass, but that ain't what we here for. Build your band, pick your style on the stage. There was a spotlight with stage tour, a modern rhythm game, a modern rhythm action game from Red Octane. Stage tour will be available in the fall. More details coming soon. Okay. I'm interested. I might have to scan this. We'll come back later. We Were Here Tomorrow is next.
What's up, gamers? Bryn.
Gamers. Y'all remember when Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez came on stage at the Video Game Awards? Like, oh, we're gamers. Oh, gamers. My people. My family. We Were Here Tomorrow. Co-op adventure lies ahead. This looks very much like Power Wash Simulator.
A recorded announcement. If you are hearing this, we are all going to die.
Hey, shout out to Hades Light Studios for bringing the fucking co-op puzzle platformer to the forefront. Now we got this, what's the other one called? The Orbitals from that Nintendo Switch game. Hey, shout out to them. In the next standalone entry of the We Were Here series, you and your partner wake up inside a mysterious facility. So this is a game franchise already. I didn't know about that. Strange machinery surrounds you, and a calm, confident voice guides you through a series of assignments. Often separated and equipped with different tools, you need to rely on your walkie-talkies to communicate clearly and work together. Each assignment introduces a new asymmetrical puzzles that can only be solved through cooperation and trust. Cool. Hey, like I said, shout out to Hazelight for bringing out the co-op puzzle games. All right, next episode, Towerborn, the Lost. Like a 2.5 side scroller shooter. 2.5 side scroller shooter. Up to 4-player co-op. Okay. PS5 now. That's pretty cool. PlayStation. That looks pretty cool. I can't lie. I feel like I've heard that name before though. I can't remember where.
Peggy 18.
Directive 1880. A little behind the scenes clip.
Heart rate 72. Temperature 97.2.
Good morning to you too. I play Brianna Young, who is a pilot assigned to the Cassiopeia, who goes through a very twist and turn journey just by virtue of what she does, but also with what happens throughout the game. She has no choice but to become a cat, basically, and land on her feet, adapt at all times, and she does it brilliantly. And it's a really high-stakes situation, every twist and turn, and she's very exciting to play.
We know they're dangerous.
I can handle it. I really enjoy playing strong female characters who aren't really diving into that strong word. They have vulnerabilities and there's complications and they're figuring it out and they're trying to aspire to being something greater, but they need the support. I wasn't sure you'd be here. She has a father figure character in the story called Stafford, who has taken her under her wing after her father died at a young age. And he protects her to the point where she questions herself a lot, even though she's probably the best in the crew. And it's nice because you get to see what she's trying to figure out behind her eyes, but also make these really snappy, quick-fired decisions that prove herself to be the best of the best. You're safe now.
And also step up in a way that makes her father figure proud.
Here you are, still flying for the stars, never giving up.
It's truly a horror, so being able to play that, which I've never done before, is really exciting. There's a lot of running, a lot of looking behind your shoulder, wondering what's there.
Young, what's going on?
Sims, she's dead. She's been dead for ages.
Then the team show you the visuals as we go, and you're like, that's what I'm fighting. Oh, I don't think I'd survive in that, actually. It's wild. It's strange because it's your face, but it's not your face. But also it's like watching an animation and thinking, oh, that character kind of looks like someone I know. And that someone you know just happens to be you. It's incredible to be able to see all of these characters go through a spectrum of emotions and have as many twists and turns as maybe multiple movies do. And play it over and over and not know where you're going to go.
If I had died, would you just pop the airlock and send me floating out into space?
For now, let's just both stay alive.
I want to do a game. I want to play a strong character. I want to play a pilot again. I want it to be colourful. And it was all of those things rolled in one. So I didn't have a choice. It kind of screamed at me, really.
Just a little peek into the game, a little behind the scenes shit there. All right, and with that is the end of our video game news drop. Man, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I very much appreciate it. Like I said, check out some of that stuff on our channel. We got the TV and the movie one that we dropped earlier in the week, so feel free to check those out. And of course, let me know down in the comments about anything. What games you excited for that are coming out? What do you think about Sony moving away from PC? The massive Xbox shakeup. What do you think about that? What do you think the future of Xbox is now? Are you worried? Are you excited? Let me know down below in the comments below. Feel free to check out some of the other stuff I got on the channel. Oscars watch is still continuing on. We only got 3 movies left until we're done. I'm actually finna watch, but we got F1 that I still got to do. It should be up if I did it when I was supposed to do it and uploaded it when I was supposed to upload it. So we'll find out. I just watched that. I'm about to watch Begonia now, and then we just got Hamnet and Marty Supreme left. And that is all we have until we get ready for the Oscars coming on March 15th. So check out all the videos I have on there for the Oscars March. All the other I just watched stuff for the TV stuff I got. I got to get back on that because shit finna start coming in really quick, so I got to get back into that as well. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe, but always remember to stay awesome. I forgot my fucking intro. I've been sitting here talking for a long time. I think my brain is bust right now. Stay watching, stay playing, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay safe out there. It is early and I've been here for hours. I'm tired now. Until next time, everybody, I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.